The sun hung softly over the quiet streets as people moved about their day, unaware that one life was about to shatter and rebuild in the same breath. Millionaire businessman Arlen Morrow, known for his unbreakable composure and stone-cold decisions, had just stepped out of his car in front of the children's charity center he secretly funded. His life looked perfect from the outside: mansions, luxury cars, and success, but on the inside, he carried a wound deeper than anyone imagined. He had lost his wife and newborn son in a hospital fire 7 years ago, a tragedy that destroyed every piece of light he once had. Or so he believed. But fate had a different plan, and it began with a scream that sliced through his soul. If you believe in kindness, miracles, and second chances, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wave of Kindness. Your support helps us spread stories that heal hearts. Arlen had come for a routine inspection of the new learning wing. It was broad daylight, children played in the courtyard, and their laughter echoed off the walls. As he walked across the bright marble floor, lost in the fog of his memories, a little girl with curly brown hair and bright hazelnut eyes suddenly bolted from a group of kids. She froze just a few feet from him, staring at him like she recognized something no one else could see. Before Arlen could speak, she screamed with a trembling voice, "Daddy, that's my brother." The courtyard fell silent. Everyone turned. Arlen's heart stopped. He followed her small, shaking finger toward a thin boy standing near the swings, wide-eyed, pale, confused, wearing a faded blue shirt and clutching a toy car as if it was his only possession. The world blurred. The ground beneath him shifted. That toy car, it was identical to the one his son was buried with. The director rushed forward, apologizing, explaining that the girl, Tessa, had a habit of calling older boys her brother. But Arlen shook his head. He felt something burning inside his chest: fear, hope, pain, all tangled together. The boy, named Rowan, stepped back nervously, but the moment Arlen looked into his eyes, a bolt of recognition hit him. The same grayish-blue eyes. The same small scar above the eyebrow. The same gentle, uncertain expression his baby had the day before the fire. Arlen stumbled forward. His vision dimmed. His legs weakened. Then he collapsed to his knees in the middle of the sunlit courtyard, trembling uncontrollably. As staff gathered around, Rowan walked slowly toward him, almost pulled by an invisible thread. Tessa stood beside Arlen and whispered, "He cries a lot at night and says he misses a mom he doesn't remember." The director's voice shook as she revealed that Rowan was found outside a burned hospital 7 years ago, the only infant survivor, no documents, no family, no clues. Arlen's breath vanished. He felt the universe closing in on him. Everything matched: the date, the fire, the blood type, the age, the scar. Tears broke free and streamed down his face in daylight, in front of everyone, as he whispered, "My son, my Rowan." But the reality was more complicated than an emotional reunion. Rowan was frightened, unsure, and guarded. Arlen spent days returning to the center, sitting with him, talking to him, handing him food, reading to him, and watching him draw. Each day Rowan inched closer, sometimes resting his head on Arlen's arm, sometimes asking shy questions like, "Why do you look at me like that?" Arlen always answered softly, "Because you matter to me." Slowly, Rowan's walls began to fall. Tessa, who had been close to Rowan for years, encouraged him, saying, "He feels like home, right?" "I feel it too." One afternoon, as sunlight spilled through the windows, Rowan finally asked the question Arlen had waited years to hear, "Were you looking for me all this time?" Arlen broke down again, pulling him gently into his arms. "Every second of my life," he whispered. The adoption process began immediately, but Arlen didn't stop there. He adopted Tessa as well, the little girl whose innocent scream had reunited a broken family. He believed she was sent by fate to complete what tragedy once destroyed. Months later, on a bright morning, Arlen stood in his garden watching Rowan and Tessa chase each other across the grass, laughing freely for the first time in their lives. His mansion, once hollow and cold, was now filled with noise, warmth, drawings taped to the walls, and 2 little hearts that healed his own. Arlen often wondered why life had taken so much from him, but as he watched his children play under the daylight sky, he finally understood: sometimes life breaks you so it can rebuild you stronger. With love, you